Am I in the screen?
No.
Am I in the screen? So this cup is in the screen?
Good morning, C4 Church. We are new at this, so bear with us through all the laughs and hopefully serious moments as we do this for you guys.
Yes.
We are gathered here at the Adams household, and in lieu of the situation,
Which is illegal.
which it is legal.
We are practicing right now our
social
social
distancing
distancing.
right here.
Yeah.
But we are an exact phone length apart. So here we are. But we just wanted to get together and give something for everyone to kind of gather over on Sunday morning and worship the Lord and just fellowship, whatever.
Yeah. And it might be Sunday to you, but it's only Thursday.
It's
for us.
Thursday for us, yeah.
All right. Well, this morning we wanted to kind of have a little bit of a Bible discussion, and then we're going to be doing a game. So go ahead and stay tuned for the whole thing. Hopefully, we'll get some serious stuff in, get some fun in, just have a whole well-rounded little podcast, video cast. All right. So
I like
this morning, because of everything going on, kind of chose the topic of having faith in God. And it's very important to have faith in God all the time. Sometimes we lose focus on that, and we lose focus on that because other stuff comes into play, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we both have some scriptures to read, and I'm actually going to be starting in Psalms 23. So this is actually the Psalm of David, and whenever faith when you ever have issues with faith, it's normally because other stuff enters in that shouldn't be there. Mm-hmm. And one of those biggest things is fear. Mm-hmm. Right now with the virus and everything, there's a lot of fear. A lot of fear going on in the world.
A lot of fear.
So if you want to open your Bibles up, you can follow with me in Psalms 23. I'll be reading from the ESV version.
That's English Standard, for all those who are wondering.
Yeah. I was trying to think of something with eucalyptus for E, but I don't think that'll work. So, all right. So, in the very beginning of Psalms 23, it says, "The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want." So, if we're going to have faith in God, getting that right off the bat, that God is your shepherd, He's the one that's leading you, He's the one that's guiding you. The shepherd is somebody that the whole flock would actually rely on to always lead them where they needed to go and to keep them safe all the time, right? Whenever the sheep would wander off, what would happen?
They would get eaten.
They would get eaten, they would get in danger. So you want to always have God as your shepherd, always keeping God close, and you following behind God and letting Him lead you. So that's what right off the bat, that's what they did. The Lord is my shepherd, and then I shall not want.
I think kind of a bit aside from the original topic, I like where it says, "If the Lord is my shepherd, then I shall not want." So I mean, on the A side of things about having faith and not being in fear, when we put our faith in the Lord, then we're like He's going to protect us, and He knows He's going to take care of us. And if we don't give in to fear, then we're going to be taken care of.
Amen.
So, like it says right here, but just very 23:1, it says, "The Lord is my shepherd; I shall not want." So, when we make Him the shepherd of our lives, we're not going to be in want for anything. We're not going to need anything. We're going to be provided and taken care for. Mm-hmm. Therefore, we don't have to give into the fear of the coronavirus or whatever else that we're afraid of, the enemy, just in general. We don't have to give in to those things because the lie that we're not fulfilled is exactly that. It's a lie. So I think that's like you said, it's the key is having the Lord as our shepherd and Him being our overwatch and protector and our leader. So on and so forth.
All the time.
What?
Our association is our congregation. I'm sorry, it's a little unruly today.
Yeah, so if you're having a hard time hearing us because other people are talking, it's because they're supposed to be being quiet playing a game, but they're not. So, all right. It goes on to say, and he makes me lay down in green pastures because God wants the best for you. Always looking for the grass is greener on the other side, and that's exactly where God lays you down at, is in the green pastures right in the beginning. He leads me beside the still waters, so stuff that is not roaring, not turbulent,
peaceful,
but peaceful waters. He restores my soul. He leads me in the path of righteousness, which is always where we should be going. And this part's important. It's because it's for His name's sake. Yeah. So if we lose focus on that, that's where a lot of our problems coming in. It is for God. Everything is for God. Even if the Bible tells us whatever you do, no matter what it is, whether it's working or cooking food for your family or taking care of somebody that is elderly or sick. I know some people in the church are having to do that right now, but you do all things for the glory of God, all for His name's sake. And then the next part is kind of where we're sitting at as a nation right now, is even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. And this is why. For you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies, and you anoint my head with oil. And I remember, Cody going back and doing that on the stage of setting the table out there, and you sitting there with God and the devil having to watch. It's always kind of playing in my mind when I read these verses, and it's so true. And it kind of ends with this: my cup overflows. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of the Lord forever. So when we're having faith in God, it's really about relying on God. When we're relying on God to be that shepherd for us, to be that guiding post, then we're having faith in Him. It's when we wander away, when we stray, when the danger comes. And we always face danger. A wolf can attack a flock with the shepherd there, but what happens is the shepherd is there to protect you. It's when you're away from God and He can't protect you there, that's when we have the biggest issues.
Right.
So.
And it's not even like, sometimes we're not intending on like choosing fear, but sometimes it just creeps in, like whether, different things that the enemy can throw at you. Sometimes, the wolf's not always going to be noticeable. Mm-hmm. It's not always going to be
in sheep's clothing,
in front of your face. Yeah, so I think it's just as important that we recognize and acknowledge Jesus as our shepherd and what He does in that role for us. Because if we don't acknowledge that, then it can be turned over to the other way very quickly. Like, we can turn over to fear and anxiety and before we even know it. Yeah. And then that just leaves the enemy a foothold to continue to wreak havoc in your life through those thoughts and through that mindset.
And fear can do one of two things. When a wolf comes or when a disaster comes and fear takes hold, you can either run to God, the shepherd, or you can run away from God, which puts you in peril. You got a ladybug on your hat.
It was weird. I saw it. It was not fear, though. It's right here.
You can kill that. We kill ladybugs.
We'll set it right there for now.
And he's protected.
He is protected. The shepherd of the ladybugs.
So, all right. So you got something too?
Yeah, I do. I kind of want to. We'll go back to verse 4, 23:4, and it kind of what I had kind of ties into that. It says, "Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me." It's like, even when we go through the dark times, we don't need to fear evil, because God is with us, and He is going to be our rod and our staff and our protector and our comforter. So we'll flip over to Matthew chapter 8. I'm thinking around verse 22-ish. Yeah, 23, sorry.
23?
23. Matthew 8, 23.
Get my lightsaber here ready. I'm with you.
This is pretty familiar. different than Peter, but Jesus also calms the storm here. But in Matthew 8:23 says, and when he got into the boat, his disciples followed him. And behold, there arose a great storm on the sea, so that the boat was being swamped by the waves. But he was asleep. He being Jesus. And they went and woke him, saying, Save us, Lord, we are perishing. And he said to them, Why are you afraid, O you of little faith? Then he arose and rebuked the winds and the sea, and there was a great calm. And the men marveled, saying, What sort of man is this, that even the winds and the sea obey him? So, if Jesus was in the boat, and they've seen, up until this point, they've seen Jesus do many, many miracles. And they've never been let down by Jesus. They've never had any kind of wavering faith at this point. I don't think. I can't say that for sure.
I think it was growing still at this point.
Yeah, they were growing. But Jesus had never let them down to this point. So why was it when the waves and the wind began to be too much that they doubted that they was going to make it through the storm or not?
It's a good question.
I think
I see that they actually ran in the right direction, but with fear. Because they ran to Jesus. They needed to run to Jesus, but they had fear before that because they were fearing the uncertain. They were fearing the waves and stuff, but they ran to Jesus. But he still was not happy because they were afraid, and they still had that little faith, even though they were running in the right direction.
I'm not going to lie, I completely lost my train of thought when you flicked that again. I totally was going somewhere with that, and then just lost it.
Well, while you're thinking of what you're thinking about, one thing was when we talk about Jesus, when we talk about God, you're talking about somebody that controls controls storms and controls the weather. I mean, when we have storms, we shelter down, and I'm not one to sit out at my front door and be outside in the storm and watch for the tornadoes to come. I know some people
That's
do.
the funnest part.
I don't do that. I like to take shelter. I like to make sure the girls are safe and everything. But we're talking about the person that can actually control all of that doesn't have limitations, and that we can run to him for every situation.
I would say the disciples even knew that at this point.
Oh yeah.
Like like you said, no limitations. Like he can control it all. The point I was trying to make a while ago is that I think when we give in to fear, it just creates the illusion that the fear has more power than the Lord.
Oh yeah.
And I think that's the main thing that the enemy tries to get across. The wolf tries to get across is that he's more powerful than the shepherd, and that is never the case. So I guess that begs the question: why do we put more faith in fear than we do in faith in the Lord?
Because it scares us. Some stuff comes like a wolf. The picture I'm getting when you're talking about this is a wolf is chasing you, and it's like, wow, there is a wolf chasing me, so I better run. But at the same time, there's a lion. The Lion of Judah is actually there to protect you.
That's good.
And so we have the protector of the lion, but we're running from a wolf.
Wow.
So,
I guess that would just go on to say, like, what kind of view do you have of the Father? Do you have the appropriate? Are you looking at the Father through the appropriate lens, and through the power and the might and the Almighty that He is? Because if you look at that, then that's going to 110% of the time trump fear. That's going to trump anything else you got. That's like putting the Titanic in front of a rowboat. You know what I'm saying? But so much of the time, in my life, I see the wolf, and that's all I see. And that's, I think, fear's biggest tool, or I guess the enemy's biggest tool is like you see something, you just get paralyzed by it.
And that's in the same boat you're talking about here. They were looking at the wave and they're looking at the storm instead of the one that can stop it. So, and then when you finally get the realization that Jesus is able to control that, He has all power, then you know you can run to Him with faith. Mm-hmm. And faith can overcome fear every single time. I know there's scary stuff in the world. I know there's a lot of people afraid of the virus and the spread of it and everything. And it's a serious thing when you take seriously, but we don't have to fear it because we know the one that's above all that.
Right. And in the story of in Matthew chapter 8, I've heard Cody preach it, or we've heard Cody preach it like this, that Jesus would have much rather them lay down beside Him to go rest than He would have them being freaked out by the storm.
Yeah. So
in bringing that current, I feel like this is a time, it's dangerous, it's, the coronavirus is what it is. I mean, we've all seen that. I mean, Andy tells us every day at 5, so. I mean, we've heard all about it, we know what it can do, but I think this is a time that the Lord wants us to draw nearer to Him.
Oh, yeah.
And this is a time, I mean, we heard Cody harp and harp and harp on spending time with the Lord in the secret place and spending time in devotion. Now, obviously, is it imperative for us to do that. Because if we don't, it's going to allow room for the enemy to come in. If we don't allow the Lord to be the shepherd of our life, it's going to allow the enemy room to come in. Yeah. And it's going to wreak havoc. And, we've all seen what it does and what the enemy can do.
And with faith, I don't know if you have more, but with faith comes peace. Mm-hmm. And when you have peace, you can have a comfort in your life that is unspeakable. And you can rest assured that God has you. So faith is like the starting point of God giving you all the blessings. But it all has to go back to start with faith and not lose sight of faith when fear and when storms or anything come at you. You got to keep that faith because we're following after the Good Shepherd, the Lion of Judah that can protect us. So.
Yeah. I think that's the biggest thing is just whenever you're attacked with that, with fear or with anything else for that matter, is to not give in and go to that point to where you say, this is bigger than what my God can handle.
Yeah.
This is, like we was talking about earlier, it's paralyzing. We tend to look so much and give so much power to the enemy, but really we need to just kill that thought where it lies whenever things come against us and just go straight to the Lord. And that's the part that I think I struggle with the most is like I give too much time and too much power to the enemy before I take it to God.
Yeah. We fall in that a lot. It's easy to do. Yeah. It's easy to do. The little things can trip us up more often than the big things.
Yeah, than the big things.
So
I agree.
Well, I hope you enjoyed this this message. We're kind of going to transfer into a little bit of fun, but we did hope you enjoyed this and comment below, and we can have discussions that down there, like from this way over this way. So. All right, and welcome to the second part of the Sunday video cast that we're going to be doing.
The Sunday Brunch Podcast.
And this is going to be a game for Randy.
Thursday night.
All right, this is going to be a game, and we're going to give Randy 10 questions.
10 questions.
10 questions. And they're all about name that disease. Because I know we got a lot going on. So these are all going to be biblical diseases.
Oh, so we're not talking like smallpox or polio.
I've never heard about smallpox and polio in the Bible. But I'm going to give you 10 questions, and you can name that disease of 6 out of the 10 questions. So you got to get 6 out of 10.
60%.
Which is like a C.
Can I use my phone?
You can use your lifeline for one question. You call anybody from the church. Now, when we're recording this, it's 10, and Randy will need to put that on speakerphone. But he's got one time he can call somebody from the church. So if you might already be on this and already know about it. So this is what happens. If he gets 6 out of 10, he gets the choice of this crisp.
That is the crispest dollar I've ever seen.
Isn't it beautiful?
Look at that. That's like you can hear how crisp that is.
Or what's in the mystery box?
That's crisp.
You can choose the dollar or the mystery.
The mystery box looks awesome though.
Yeah.
So we'll figure that out.
So, but you have to get 6 out of 10. If you
6
don't,
out of 10.
I get to keep the dollar and what's in the mystery box, and he doesn't get to know what was
This
in
is
the
highway
box.
robbery.
It was. All right. So, Randy, are you ready?
Yes.
Are you ready? All right. No, you can't cheat.
Sorry.
You can't cheat.
This is a biblical podcast. I'm sorry, guys.
What was the ailment of the man that came before Jesus in Luke 14:2? All right, and I'm going to give him multiple. These are all multiple choices, so you don't have to worry about it too much.
Luke 14:2.
In Luke, could you know that one?
No, I
You
don't
know
have
that
a
one?
clue.
All right. So, was it A, leprosy,
I should know Luke 14:2.
B, demon possession,
Oh, gosh.
C, deafness, or D, dropsy? Dropsy. So Luke 14:2. Remember, you do have a lifeline.
It's way too early in the game to use a lifeline.
It is a little early. So A, leprosy, B, demon possession, C, deafness. That means you can't hear. You can't. Or
Appreciate that.
D, dropsy.
Okay, I'm gonna go out on limb. Just first guess off the bat. I'm gonna say B, leprosy. That was not the right answer. Demon possession.
Demon possession was B.
Yes,
Is that
that's
your
what our
final
final
answer?
answer B.
I am sorry, that is incorrect. You're off to a really bad start.
Is it A?
It was actually D, dropsy.
Okay, I don't know what dropsy is.
You got booed by the peanut gallery.
Yeah, it's very, very peanut gallery.
All right. So if Amber will keep score, she's off
busy.
camera. She's off camera.
Score doesn't matter.
But,
Golf score.
No, you got to get 6
Golf
out of 10.
score.
6 out of 10.
Okay.
All right. You already missed one.
I
So
know.
you get 6 out of 9
I
now.
know.
All right.
I feel like there's gonna be a good run though, right here.
I don't know.
Yeah, probably.
All right. Number 2.
If you just keep giving me books of the Bible, this is gonna end up bad.
In the 5th chapter of 1 Samuel, in the King James Version, what ailment did the Philistines suffer? This is a little easier.
Goodness.
After they captured the Ark of the Covenant.
Okay.
Okay, so it's a little easier than just knowing what, because when the Philistines, they got the Ark of the Covenant,
Yeah.
they won it from the battle. Like, what stuff happened to them? All right, was it headaches? Was it baldness? C, hemorrhoids? Or D, rapid aging? You get a drink of water while he thinks about that. A was headaches.
Headaches.
B was something I am doing right now, baldness.
I got you.
Okay. C is hemorrhoids, if you know what those are.
And I apologize for anybody that's dealing with hemorrhoids. It's just a phone thing. I'm
All right.
sorry.
Or D, rapid aging. You can't cheat.
I'm not. I
And you
can't
got a
even see your
lifeline.
phone. Yeah, but it's way too early to use the lifeline.
All right. And I'll give you a little hint. The Philistines had to make idols of these. So I want the best for you, you know. So they had to make golden images of these.
Of hemorrhoids. A golden image of a hemorrhoid.
What was one?
That's
of them?
not my answer, but I'm just saying.
Do you remember? It was rats. One of them was rats. They had to do the rats, and then they had to do something else. Was it of the headaches, of the baldness, of the hemorrhoids, or the rapid aging?
I'm going to go rapid aging.
Rapid aging? Is that your final answer?
I'm not real sure, but yes.
You were wrong again. I'm sorry. It was actually the hemorrhoids thing.
Was it really?
Yeah. They called it hemorrhoids.
Hemorrhoids?
Hemorrhoids. All right, so now you have to get 6 out of 8. So it's getting a much more difficult. All right, what is this easy?
No, it's just very difficult. Obviously, I need to study the Bible.
All right, so this one's a little bit easier. All right, what person succumbed to worms in Acts 12? These are difficult, but you know I know Randy studies the Bible, so and you're playing for big stakes. You got hard cash.
Listen, there
Or
better
what's
be
in the
big
mystery?
stakes in the box.
All right,
That's all
all
I gotta
right.
say.
All right, so
Big stakes.
was it Cornelius A, B Herod, C Ananias, or B Agabus? This one's important. You're going to have to get one of these right. They're all multiple choice.
I'm going to go D again. D is a faithful answer.
And just to help you, I don't remember an Agabus in the Bible.
Yeah, I don't either. So I'm going to go with... I'm really bad at this. I feel like I should have quizzed you. This has been more entertaining. But did Daniel Rice die of worms? Is that how he died? I don't know if that's not how he died. Yeah, my answer's A.
A?
Yeah.
Cornelius?
Yeah.
Alright, that is wrong again. I'm sorry. Sorry. So, alright, so you missed the first three. Alright. So you can only miss one more.
You realize it's 10:30. Who am I going to call for a lifeline at 10:30?
We tried to do this a little earlier. Alright. So, alright, it was Herod, though. It was Herod.
Okay.
Alright. So, number 4.
Can we, go to an easier level here?
Yes.
Okay.
Alright. This one, this actually should be a lot easier for you.
I doubt it.
Alright. In 2 Kings 4:17 through 20. What do most Bible scholars think was most likely the cause of the death of the Solomonite woman's son? Alright. And it's going to be A or B. Alright.
Oh, there's no C or D?
Well, there was, but I'm going to make it a little easier.
Okay.
Think you need a little help
At least it's 50-50.
I feel sorry for you.
I appreciate that. Is this the last one I can miss?
If you miss this, you'd have to get them all right. You
Okay.
have a clean sweep of the rest of them. Alright. So, was it sunstroke or a lightning strike? Think about the area.
I want to go with the obvious answer, but I feel like it's going to end up being wrong.
Okay.
I'm going to say heat stroke.
So sunstroke?
Sunstroke, yeah, sorry.
Not lightning strike?
You're making me nervous. I'm going sunstroke.
Sunstroke is the right answer.
Okay, there we go. I like that sound.
Alright, so we
like
got
that
one. He can only miss one more. Alright. So, alright, this one's a little bit more familiar. So, what disease did both Moses and his sister Miriam suffer from for a brief time?
It wasn't polio.
It wasn't polio. Alright, was it scurvy? This is the stuff the pirates get. Alright. Boils. What is this?
It's the hook.
Okay.
Arr.
Dementia or leprosy?
I'm going D, leprosy.
Final answer?
It's so quiet. Final answer, leprosy.
Leprosy is correct.
Yeah.
Very good. Yeah, Miriam got it,
Yeah.
when she went against Moses, and Moses had it for a short time when he stuck his hand out, and then he took it back.
Yeah.
All right. So they both had it.
I understand that one. I got that one.
All right, so that was a little easier. All right. Number 6.
Oh gosh.
So you can still miss one, you can still get it.
Okay.
All right. When the wandering Israelites complained of only having manna to eat in the wilderness, and you know this story.
Mm-hmm.
All right. God sent quails as meat for them to eat. What condition affected the Israelites after eating the quail? Was it a plague, mites, heartburn,
Indigestion, nausea, diarrhea.
or diarrhea?
Pepto-Bismol.
So was it a plague, mites, heartburn, or diarrhea?
I'm going with D. I'm going with diarrhea.
You're going with diarrhea?
I am.
Final answer?
Final answer.
It's actually incorrect.
Oh.
It's incorrect.
Doesn't count if you had to say it twice.
It was actually just a plague. God struck him with the plague. Alright, so you gotta get the rest of these. You gotta get the rest of these.
Have to get the rest of these. There's 3
there's
more?
4 more.
Oh.
There's 4 more. You gotta get the rest of these. But you do have a lifeline.
Do still have a lifeline.
And you're doing so well, I'm gonna give you a second lifeline.
Crucial moments right here.
And I will eliminate half of the answers off another question. Because I really want the best for you.
I appreciate that.
All
I
right.
feel like you're going somewhere with this best for me thing.
Yeah. Alright, so number 7.
Let's see.
Not only people, but animal diseases are also acknowledged in the Bible. What was the illness of the domestic livestock mentioned in the 9th chapter of Exodus in the King James Version?
You're gonna go Exodus on me?
Mm-hmm.
You just want me to say it? Like there's no answers?
Oh, sorry. So, alright, was it dropsy? This is what the cows get. Alright. Fomentary, mad cow disease, Fomurian.
I don't remember mad cow being in the Bible. I'm going D. Murian.
That is correct.
Yay!
All right, so you're still in it, and you still have your lifeline. 2 lifelines because they gave you a secondary lifeline.
Okay.
All right. King Hezekiah developed a boil, and it was prophesied by Isaiah that it would lead to the king's death. Hezekiah wept and prayed, and was given a remedy. What did he use to cure his condition? Do you remember this story?
No, not at all.
Not at all?
Not at all.
So the king had a boil, basically, and Isaiah prayed, and God gave him an answer for it, and he did this.
Okay.
A poultice of citrus leaves, a lump of figs, a tincture of cinnamon, or raw chicken liver paste. That's a hard one. That's a hard one.
I'm going to use my half it.
You're going to use
my
the half of
lifeline.
it. Okay. Was it a lump of figs or a cure of cinnamon?
Okay. Still doesn't help.
So it was one of those two. Was it figs or was it cinnamon? Jesus was maybe mad at this at one point.
Okay. That's actually the direction I was leaning.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to say the lump of figs.
The lump of figs was correct. Good job.
Actually leaning towards that one out of all 4 answers.
All right. So you got 2 more. You just got to get these last 2.
Tincture threw me off because I was like, that sounds like a very biblical term.
I don't know what tincture is, but
I don't know.
I think they did
Hey,
that
Siri.
on purpose.
Hey Siri, what is a tincture?
It's currently 72 degrees.
That's how useful Siri is.
Number 9. Another king in ancient Israel, Jeroboam, however you want to say it, was struck with the disease of his bowels. Was he ever cured of that? Yes or no? You should have saved your life for this one.
Yeah, I know. That would have been so smart.
So yes or no, 50-50 shot. Was Jeroboam cured, or did he die of it?
We've worked hard to get this far.
We did.
This is going to be the one that gets me.
We don't know what that is these days.
If it's any consolation, I figured you guys would be the only ones young enough to still be up.
Oh, thank you.
I don't know how much everybody else will appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm probably going to be severely hated on Sunday for that comment. Which I don't guess I can say that because Terry works night shift, so
He's later than every one of us.
yeah. Sorry, Terry.
Well, I do know that he died at like 40.
Oh.
So he wasn't very old. Oh, I do remember that story. No, he didn't. He was not healed because he had that for like quite a while and his bowels fell out.
That definitely sounds life-threatening.
I knew there was something really strange about that when you said bowels, like, so I must know.
Having a phone call about bowels at 10:43 p.m. is pretty out of the ordinary. Okay, so we're going with no, he was never healed.
Right.
Okay.
Final answer?
Thank you very much.
Final answer.
I guess
You're welcome.
I'll keep you on the line. Yes, that's my final answer. Is
Final
no,
answer.
he was not healed.
That is correct.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So
See you later, and tune in Sunday for the rest of the game.
All right. See y'all.
Bye.
All right, bye. All right, number 10. And this is for the $1,
All the marbles.
the crispy $1,
Crispy $1,
or what is in the mystery box. What is in the mystery box? So it all boils down to this. Number 10. In which prophetic book? So now you're just talking about a book. You
A
need
book.
to know a book of the Bible.
Book of the Bible.
Which prophetic book of the Bible is a tree mentioned whose leaves are for the healing of the nations? Was it Ezekiel, Daniel, Revelation, or Isaiah?
Okay, I'm gonna go. I think it was C. Revelations.
Are you sure? Final answer?
No, I'm not sure. But yes, this is my final answer.
Final. It all comes down to if
All
you got
comes
that right.
down to this.
I'm sorry, but you are right. No. Oh, you did. You got 6 out of 10. It was a very
Barely.
big struggle. It was a big
Barely.
struggle. I gave you a couple extra lifelines and stuff.
Couple.
So, we had Randy's score. Pat Ambrose keeping
It's
score. She
so
was really
bad.
proud of this. She wanted to show it off to you all.
The
Look at that.
real answers
Look
are
at that.
they're all wrong.
All
I
right,
was
so
wrong. All
now
wrong.
it comes down to Randy's choice
Oh,
because he
wow.
did win. To take the $1, the crisp one. This is probably the best dollar you've ever seen.
That is the best. That would go great in a vending machine.
Or what's in the mystery box. So, and just so you know, if you don't take the mystery box, you never find out what's in it.
Okay. Like this is the crispest $1 bill, crispiest, whatever that word is.
Mhm.
$1 bill I've ever seen. It's real.
It is real.
It's very real.
They don't have the things in them though.
They don't have that.
No, they don't have it in there. The $1 bills don't.
Oh, you learn something new every day. I'm gonna go mystery box.
All right, he's going with the
Got to
mystery
go
box.
mystery box.
Here you go. Here's your mystery box. You keep what's inside. I keep the box. So
Mystery box. He keeps the box.
I keep the box.
The box is not important. Okay, here we go. I guess I should do this. The mystery box. Y'all are gonna see it before I do. Oh my goodness. We have a nice big can of dehydrated water.
It is a great mystery.
100% organic, BPA free, gluten free,
That's important.
no artificial colors or flavors.
Hmm. It even has directions of how to use it.
Instructions. Here we
Yeah.
go. Empty contents into any size container.
You can do it if you want.
Add water and mix. Chill and serve. And seriously question your intelligence.
Yes.
And the final product is undrinkable frozen.
Well, it was just a little bit of fun this morning, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. It's exactly what it says. We don't want to lie on this show. But we hope you guys enjoy everything, and we wish you the best, and we're praying for everybody, every single one of you.
And if we've learned anything here today, is that I need to study more.
All right. Well, God bless, and we love you all.
See you guys.
Bye.